Okay, so this is one of my small business sessions, and today we're talking about creativation opportunities with the Creative Pitch and the Sarah Hurley Academy Pavilion. So if you haven't heard anything about this, or you need some more details, or maybe you want to ask me some questions at the end, then please feel free. So let's start with the pavilion. So the pavilion I've actually been running here in the UK. This is my third year going into it now, and it will be my first year running it in the US. And what this is a showcase for small creative businesses, independent entrepreneurs, to put themselves out there, to show their products, to show themselves, to get their name out there. And we offer a fixed price package which covers everything you need to get started. So there's no surprises, and it's around half the price you would usually pay to be at the show. So just a fantastic opportunity to get started. You also, with that, get an unrivaled package of support, which includes obviously marketing. And the earlier you book, the more marketing we can do in the lead up to the show. We will give you any introductions we possibly can to get you started and to make sure that you have the best possible experience at the show. You get some advice up to the show day. So I've already been holding Zoom sessions with a couple of people that have booked and making sure that their stand is the best it can be, that they're ready, and already saved some people a lot of money on things like print and things like that where they'd overestimated. So really pleased about that. I'm also there on the day, so you get my moral support on the day. And just to let you know, I will get involved as much as you want me to. At the UK Pavilion last year, we had a lovely lady who had QVC come on her stand, and she got so flustered and let the buyer basically walk away. And she came over to me and went, "Oh, I've messed that up. What do I do? What do I do?" And I went, "Come with me." We went and chased that buyer down in the aisle. We got her that conversation, and we made sure that she left feeling fantastic about it and that she had that second chance. So I am there on the day to fully help you and be involved. I am not shy in making sure that you succeed. The creative pitch is one of my absolute passions, and we have actually been running this. I ran this when I was on the CHA AFCI UK board. So we've been doing this for around 10 years now, I believe. And this is basically a Shark Tank slash Dragon's Den opportunity. This is our first time doing it in the USA, which I'm really excited about. And it is the best way to get yourself or your product noticed. You basically come in and pitch to a panel of industry experts, including myself. You get advice and support. You're able to pick our brains. We ask you those hard questions that maybe you haven't thought about. And we really drill down into what your idea or product or business is and give you some advice. To give you some ideas, previous pitchers have gone on to launch products, secure TV airtime, publish books, sign licensing contracts, distribution deals, find stockists. We've given them ongoing mentorship. I personally check in on previous pitchers regularly just because I love to see what they've been doing. And I've actually even invested in a couple of the businesses myself because I've just loved them so much. And I could not let them walk away knowing that they didn't have the resources to continue. So I've even gone ahead and done that. But we will do everything we can to give you that thing to succeed. And it doesn't matter how new or how experienced you may be. So we've had people come in with literal ideas, drawings on kind of beer mats and that kind of thing. So really, really start out. Or people that have come in and they want to quit their day job and they've had an idea. And then we've had people come in. We had one lady come in a couple of years ago who had a business that I wasn't super familiar with, but in our industry. But she was turning over around 250,000 a year. She'd been running for around 15 years and she couldn't understand why it wasn't growing. And I literally said to her, make these few tweaks on your packaging, on your products. And she rung me within, I think it was about 5 months, and said she'd already turned over 360K and was on track to over double her turnover. And that's literally a couple of tweaks. Having someone look from the outside at your idea, your business, your product is so, so important. I do it myself. I ask my friends in the industry. I have mentors myself. I just think it's so important. I would like to point out slots fill up super fast. Obviously, we only run this for 1 day at each show in the UK and the USA. There's only one of me and one of the other experts, so we can only tend to fit in around 8 to 10 people. I will try and squeeze in as many as I can because I never want anyone to miss out. But we are nearly full on both the UK and the US slots. So please, if you haven't booked yet, book today and I will be in touch. If you've already applied, you're on my list. And if I haven't been in touch yet, I will be in touch. We've had so many applications and I have to kind of narrow it down and make sure that I see the ones that I think can move forward really fast. And then, of course, we have our educational partnership with my business academy and NAMTA Connect. Now, NAMTA Connect already bring you an amazing slate of education, and all I've done is come in and offer my perspective and seen where we can work together to give you even more great education. So I'm really grateful for Jordan and David to open up this platform to me, because it allows me to bring my knowledge to you guys. So my aim is to give you more insights, more trends, more data, and show you how to apply those things and use it in your business to make sure you succeed. So for me, silly things like some of you may know, I run a trend report. And I remember in the early days of, I used to present a trend report at our UK board events and saying like one of our top trends is cupcakes, and some guy getting up to walk out and saying, "Oh, I run a sewing shop. What use is that to me?" And I was like, hang on a minute, how about cupcake printed fabric, or making little pin cushions made like cupcakes, or putting cupcake applique on things? Like, think outside the box. And I really want to show people how seeing those insights and trends and data and how to apply it in your business is really important. And that's even like in my trend report now, which I'll be presenting at the show as well, or preview of it. I don't just take the trends from the craft industry or from the fine art industry. I take it from all the related industries that I work in, because quite often we'll see something that comes from the wedding industry, for instance, and it will come into craft or it will come into fine art. So I literally study all of the trends on all of these like industries that I work in, which is wedding, stationery, home goods, fashion, children, babies, everything that I work on, and I bring it all together and make it a cohesive thing and explain it all in great detail so that you can use it in your business. I actually presented my Hurley report. It was the first year I done it last year. I was told it would never work, and I actually done 38 presentations of it last year and had a 98% booking rate. And the only reason the other one person didn't book me is because they decided to go into another area of business. I can't help that. Um, and of course, we want to offer you even more in person mentoring and advice sessions at Creativation and other associated events that I might be at. So, more of us, obviously, Jordan and David are just 2 people. Now we're 3 people. So, we can offer you even more in person opportunities for that mentoring and advice. And then why are we doing this? And I know that there may be some pushback, especially from, if someone's, for instance, been booking a stand at the show, or they feel like they don't need this advice. But simply put, we need to support and grow this industry starting at the roots. We have seen a massive change in the last 5 years. And what we need to remember is that small businesses, independent designers, and retailers are the absolute lifeblood of this industry. It doesn't matter what size of company you are. Even if you're a massive manufacturer, if you don't have a designer to design your product, and you don't have designers out there using your product and inspiring people, you don't have independent retailers creating these hubs and classes and inspirational events, then you're not going to do very well. And what I don't want to see is this industry become AI generated artwork on products that then go out, and we have just people in suits who don't care if they're selling cars or paper out there trying to sell these products with no inspiration, because then it will end up being a grocery store line of product instead of an actual industry, and we cannot do that. So my advice is use it or lose it, and I literally mean that. If you don't turn up to shows, if you don't engage in communities, if you don't engage with these designers, with these retailers, we will lose it. We have to support local. We have to support independent. I personally will not use those cheap knockoff apps to buy anything, because I just think it is terrible and it's the absolute scourge of our economy, and I won't do it out of principle. So please use it or lose it. Turn up at this event, engage with us, come and see things, support all of our designers. We need to lead the industry again and take people on a journey. What we have noticed is that we are seeing people just jump on and go, they're selling butterflies, so I'm going to make butterflies. And all we end up with is more and more butterflies. Like, do something else, take your customer on a journey, inspire them. Don't just leave them thinking, oh, there's so many butterflies, I don't know whether to buy that one or that one. Give them something else, inspire them, say to them, you've already got the butterfly, so here's a flower and here's something else. And, take them on that journey, inspire your customer to come back again and again and again, because they're not going to keep coming back for the same old thing. They're just not. So I hope you can be like really understand why myself and NAMTA have come together to put this program together, because it is so needed. So there are 3 ways to use these opportunities to grow your business, and I'm going to run through them quickly now. So community, we are seeing this more and more. Business is personal. People have always bought from people. We've, I think, slightly come away from that with social media, but I think it's becoming a bit of a resurgence. So use our events to connect and grow your personal community and network. Having a trusted network is one of your biggest assets. And I know it's really cheesy and people don't like it when I say it. It's 100% true. And coming from me, I'm the ultimate introvert, but your network is your net worth. You have to talk to people, you have to connect, you have to communicate, because business is personal. And if you don't connect with people, if they don't know you, like you, trust you, they're not ultimately going to buy from you. And guidance, mentor and advice and education is so important. There is no substitute for real, practical, no nonsense advice. And it really annoys me when I go to something that I think is going to be really good educationally, and people give fluff and nonsense and do things like, well, you just have to reach more customers. Yeah, we know that. How? Like, I want to give you really practical, this is the roadmap, this is what you do. So you'll never get fluff from me. Change is happening all the time, and you need to be on top of those current news and trends in the industry and beyond. By working together, we can do that. And we are here for you. We want to help you. We want you to succeed, because a rising tide lifts all boats. And then visibility. This really frustrates me. If they don't know you're there, they can't buy from you. Trade shows are the fastest way, obviously, to build relationships, and people will buy from you because they're there to spend money. They're there to be inspired. You can reach hundreds and maybe thousands of people literally in your target demographic in one go. Now, you can try and replicate this with social media adverts. It will cost you a fortune. It will take lots of testing and refining. I know, because I've done it in all of my businesses. There is nothing like a trade show to bring you together. And what really frustrates me is when people design a fantastic product or come up with a fantastic concept, they build a website, they put up half a dozen Instagram posts, and they go, well, that didn't work, I'll go back to my day job. You didn't try. You weren't out there. People need to see something on average 7 times before they engage with it and buy it. So unless you're visible, unless you're almost, you will feel annoying to yourself, but you have to be annoyingly visible for people to pay attention. By going to trade shows, you build personal relationships because you're in front of people. They know that they can trust you. They can ask you questions in person, and you build brand credibility. You also, it's the only opportunity to get 2-way feedback, and I cannot stress the importance of this enough. So people think that because customers can leave reviews on your product or they can interact on social media, that that's enough feedback, and it's really not. The one thing I noticed from working on the shows here in the UK is when people actually have your product in their hand and you listen to them and they're saying things like, I'd be nice if it was a little bit bigger, I'd like one in purple, those kinds of things, they're never going to leave that feedback for you because it's not worth their while. But all of those little nuggets of wisdom, you're picking up all of the time in the background. It is so, so valuable to have that and to be seen, to be listening to your customers. And in terms of the pitch, that pitch into industry experts gets you to the front of the queue immediately. Because I mean, there's some pitches. There was a lady who actually come to me last year, and her pitch was, I've got a different type of ruler. And I thought, this sounds like the most boring pitch alive. Like, I cannot even cope with how boring this is. But we had a slot. She seemed like a very nice lady. And so I put her in. And she had actually invented a ruler with no numbers for people that are ADHD, neurodiverse, and all of that. Now, I am actually I've got dyscalculia, which is dyslexic with numbers. So I write my numbers backwards, I see my numbers backwards, and I really struggle with numbers. I can do it in my head like Rain Man, but I cannot for the life of me look at numbers on a piece of paper and put it together. I'd rather cry. So when she showed me this ruler, I was like, this is amazing, because in my head I can substitute the numbers. And it was one of the best pictures, and we managed to actually get her onto a TV channel. We've got her into some stores. Her business has doubled over the last year. Getting in front of those industry experts and explaining, and having us say to you, do you know your pitch was really boring? Like, you have to spice that up a little bit. Try explain it like this, which I know might sound really rude, but I think it's better to get to the point and to actually say to someone, like, this is what you need to do. It gets you to the front of the queue and it gets you in front of people. And that, again, is so, so important. So for more, as always, please come and see me at sarahhurleyacademy.com, on Instagram at Sarah Hurley Academy, and TikTok, where I've just started. And I know what you're thinking. I'm over 40 and I'm too old for it, but I don't care. I love it. I don't dance, don't worry, but I will talk to you on there. And for any feedback or questions, obviously you can ask me now, and you can email academy@sarahhurley.com.